So speaking of TikTok, right? So we actually started conversing because நம்ம வந்து ஒரு சூரிய நமஸ்கார பத்தி ஒரு TikTok போட்டோம். So எனக்கு வந்து சின்ன வயசுல இருந்து சொல்லிக்கிறாங்க, என் அம்மா வந்து சொன்னாங்க, டேய் நீ வந்து சூரிய நமஸ்காரம் பண்ணுடா, உடம்புக்கு நல்லதுடா இது அதுன்னு. ஸோ சரி பண்ணி பார்ப்போம். ஒரு தடவை பண்ணேன், முதுகு பிடிச்சிக்கிட்டு.
108 times
No, I think I did 4 times.
4 times.
I was like, பண்ணேன். I was alone because my whole family sleeping, so I had no motivation. So one time I tried I think ஒரு 15 years old. 14-15 years old try பண்ணேன், முடியல.
Wait, sorry, 108 times?
That's like a thing, right? Like that 108 times doing Surya Namaskar. நான் 108 times பண்றது இல்ல. It's a thing actually for Surya Namaskaram. They say like 108 பண்ணணும். If you see on YouTube also, people record their journey doing 108 Surya Namaskaram every day for 1 month. The changes that they go through and everything. It's amazing. I don't do 108 though. I do at the least ஒன்னாவது பண்ணிடுவேன் காலையில. But the reason I do is because number one, of course, the stretching part, which is very important for the body. At least I'm like, நான் என்னதான் நான் gym போகாட்டியும், at least, I'm still working out in some way. And stretching is very good for your body also. ரெண்டாவது விஷயம் is because I think that's my form of gratitude to the world. You know what I mean? When you think about it, right? The sun doesn't expect anything from us. But என்ன நடந்தாலும் the sun always shows up every day. Like my mom always tells me, like imagine, because sometimes I won't be responsible. I'll be like, நேத்து இப்படி நடந்துச்சானாலும் இன்னைக்கு நான் ரொம்ப லேட்டா நான் எந்திரிக்க போறேன், I don't care, நீங்க என்ன சொன்னாலும். Then my mom will say these kind of things, sun வந்து இப்படி நினைச்சிருந்தா இன்னைக்கு உலகத்துக்கு என்ன, சாப்பாடு கிடைக்காது, ஆக்சிஜன் கிடைக்காது. I think it's a very good analogy.
True. Yeah.
So அதனால வந்து I wake up, it's my form of gratitude. Thank you sun, thank you world actually for giving me everything. Yeah.
எப்போ நீங்க வந்து இந்த யோகாசனத்துல ஈடுபட்டீங்க? எப்போ இருந்து ஈடுபட்டீங்க?
I started when I was around 18 to 19 years old. That was my honest rock bottom, because you're going from school to university, and I did my university in India because எனக்கு சிங்கப்பூர்ல பண்ணணும்னு எனக்கு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டே கிடையாது. I was so sick of studying too much. Like என்ன இவ்வளோ ஹார்ட் ஒர்க் பண்ணி எங்கேயும் நான் போகல. It's not like I'm getting into NUS medicine. அப்பா அதுதான் I was considered like the success right, and I wasn't in like Raffles or something. My parents wanted me to go to Raffles Girls Secondary School, then RGC. I wasn't there, but பயங்கரமா கஷ்டப்பட்டு வாழச்சேன் படிப்புல. I didn't get that. So I was like, what, studies la வந்து I'm not like at the top of it. So I was like, இதுக்கப்புறம் எதுக்கு Singapore University or just first world country நான் எதுக்கு university பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு தான் இந்தியாக்கு I left actually to do my university there. Sorry, what's the question again? How
when did you start?
When did I start? So Indiaku vande I went to do my university, and appa andha or shift la vande I was going through a lot also at that point of time, right? So adla da I started and ஒரு மைண்டுக்காக நிறைய ரிசர்ச் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சேன். Like why do I feel this sad and this bad and felt like I felt so lost in life. அப்ப நான் நிறைய ரிசர்ச் ஆக்சுவலி நான் பண்ணேன் இந்த மாதிரி what else can I do to basically better the mind, to just make myself happier as a person. That's when I came upon yoga, and adula irundhu dhaan aarambichadhu. Okay, Surya Namaskaroda benefits enna, ஒரு சின்ன ஒரு யோகா ஆசனா பண்ணா கூட அதோட benefits என்ன அப்படின்னா, not just because I'm a Bharatanatyam dancer, right? So நிறைய நாங்க பண்ற அந்த workouts கொஞ்சம் and poses kuda, it's pretty related to yoga only.
Right.
I do believe there is a science behind Bharatanatyam, why we do what we do. Anyway, it's an ancient dance form, and if you see a lot of ancient Indian things, adukku pinnadi actually science backings nariya irukku, right? So that's how I started yoga. Initially it was very difficult. Appa also I had a lot of bodily pains. That was the main reason why I started yoga. A lot of bodily pains, ஏன் வந்தது கூட தெரியல எனக்கு. But of course I think it's a lot of like mental pressure. I had chronic cough also at that point of time. I feel like it was all the pressure that built up in my body. So I was like, I really have to do something about it. So really grateful for the internet. Illana enga irundha, I don't know where I would have gotten the resources, because family நம்மள சுத்தி உள்ளவங்களுக்கும் அந்த அளவுக்கு self awareness இருக்கான்னு தெரியல. At least I didn't have, right? So that's how I started yoga, like ஒரு 1 minute முதல்ல ஆரம்பிச்சேன். Then slowly started to build up. Then my 3rd 4th yearலாம் வந்து என்ன பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சேன்னா YouTubeல yoga challengesன்னு இருக்கும். I started doing that. So I was doing yoga like 45 minutes a day, an hour a day, just to push myself.
Right.
And then I felt great after that. So that's how this whole Surya Namaskaram and yoga came about.
நீங்க வந்து you felt greatness சொன்னீங்க. It's like, you felt great mentally, physically?
Physically also.
Right.
I feel like once your mental health is amazing, your physical health just follows, right?
Right.
Mentally, I felt so good. I was so much more confident, That's why, because yoga is a bodily science. And unmele, I felt it, Adu illama, the best part is, the physical pains I had really left. So that's why, like, my body just became so much more comfortable.
Did you feel you were more in control with your body in sense of like the movements and stuff? Because after so naya the kekrena, I have this problem. You were joking about falling down. Now falling down and all that. Honestly, it's because I feel unstable. I don't feel stable.
நீங்க செய்யற பரதநாட்டியம் வேற, பரத் செய்யற பரதநாட்டியம்
நடக்கும்போதே நாட்டியம் ஆடுவேன். So I don't know. That's different. But so that's the thing I want to understand. Like, do you feel more in control with your body in that sense?
I mean, I think I've always felt controlled in my body because of Bharatanatyam. Balance eppeme irundirukku, right? That's always been there. But with yoga, right, it's really yoga, the main thing was the mind part of it. I just felt so much more peaceful and confident. That's the end. Tannambika nariya improve achu because of yoga, and the fact that it's slow. So I do meditation also.
Right.
So meditation panna, when I do yoga, it kind of amplifies it.
Okay.
So it really helps with slowing down my life and giving a certain rhythm to my life.
Right.
Aduthaan.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So நிறைய பேருக்கு now we are in the age where நிறைய பேருக்கு they want the instant gratification. செஞ்சா immediately அதோட benefits தெரியணும். ஆனா right, like based on what you're saying, and இந்த மாதிரி let's say ஒரு வாழ்க்கையில ஒரு சேஞ்ச் செய்யணும், ஒரு மாற்றம் உருவாக்கணும்னா அதுக்கு வந்து is a process. Like அது வந்து is not going to be like ஒரு switch அமுக்குற மாதிரி, today I'm going to start like yoga. Then the rest of your life you're going to be doing yoga. அது வந்து Monday saving, and then Tuesday you might feel lazy to do it, then Wednesday you might feel motivated, and so on and so forth. So அந்த ஒரு ரிதம் கிடைக்க அந்த யோகாசனம் செய்கிற அதோட பெனிஃபிட்ஸ் உங்களுக்கு ஃபீல் பண்ண how long do you take? Like உங்களோட journey wise.
Okay, honestly, like நான் ஒரு 19 yearsல நான் யோகா ஆரம்பிச்சேன்னா, of course that whole year I was struggling. ஒரு 1 minute தான் பண்ணுவேன், ரொம்ப ஸ்மாலா ஆரம்பிச்சேன். அப்புறம் ஒரு 1 year கழிச்சு செகண்ட் இயர்க்குள்ள போகும்போது it got better, like ஒரு 15 minutes. So I feel like I slowly eased into it to do so like 5 years later. Even now I'm not able to do my 45 minutes and 1 hour yoga just because I think when you're studying, it's a different thing. You have so much of time, different routine. Then I got into work, doing so many different things. I don't have the time now, but again, I really think it's about figuring out just all the time how it's going to work for you la. And I also feel like life is like a cycle, right? Like mela irukku appo thirupi keela po. So right now really for me it's about finding that balance. Enna nadandalum, like just make sure that I have a certain routine.
Right.
Even if I'm going to go back to study, or like I'm going to pursue another 3 more careers, but just make sure that I have a certain routine that's going to stay constant all the way. So it takes time. I really இன்னைக்கு இந்த உலகத்துல ஒரு என்ன I feel like the problem I guess is நிறைய பேர் வந்து, even me for that matter, we want everything fast, like instant gratification, like you take your phone, you get your dopamine hits and everything in like a second, so ellame Singapore, like sollave venda, Singapore is a very fast moving country, right? So even I was told, like na nariya meditation yoga panala I start to speak very slow also apparently. Adu enakku theriyala. I remember when I went into working, they were like, you're very like, you seem to have a very slow form of, is it something?
Cadence?
Very, like you're slow in nature.
Right.
And I was like, I mean, to me, yeah, of course I am. And I want to be slow, but I understand, like, you want to be fast because that's what you're used to. It's almost like the norm here. And நம்ம ஓடிக்கிட்டே இருக்கணும்.
நடக்கும்போது is like the speed that people walk.
Yeah, like people walk. But really, when you think about it, right, which is why I think stillness is very important. நம்ம எதுக்காக எங்க போறோம்? Like, we say like this is a fast-paced life and everything, but really, I feel like ரொம்ப ஃபாஸ்டா போனா, if you don't know your direction, where are you going then? You're going to hurt yourself more, I really believe I know where I want to go, so I'll do it slowly. And I'm the kind of person, I don't care what anyone says, unless of course அங்க வந்து ஒரு ஒரு என்ன சொல்றது ஒரு pressure, and yeah, obviously அவங்களுக்கு ஏத்த மாதிரி பண்ணி கொடுங்க, if I'm working under someone lah. But generally I don't care about what anyone says, right? So it's like, just slow pace, and
it's about enjoying every little moment in life, right?
Correct.
That's the thing.
It's like I agree. என்ன நிறைய பேர் வந்து like and the results focus பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருப்பாங்க, which is good also. அது தப்புன்னு இல்லை, ஆனால் அந்த ரிசல்ட்ஸ் அடையணும்னு அந்த ஒரு எண்ணம் வருதுக்கிட்ட அந்த ப்ரோசஸை if you don't enjoy, right, then when you look back it will be a negative thing. It might be a negative thing. So when you enjoy the process where you're doing something, ஒரு கோலை நோக்கி போய்கிட்டு இருக்கோம், அது ஒரு நல்ல எண்ணம் தான், நல்ல ஒரு ஹேபிட், நல்ல ஒரு பழக்கம். ஆனால் அந்த எப்படி அதை போய் அடையிறோம், எப்படி அதை செய்யணும், அதையும் என்ஜாய் பண்ணணும். அதில் தான் you learn a lot about yourself, you learn a lot about the people around you, and I think that's very underrated and overlooked.
Correct. ஏன்னா அந்த learning process வந்து you cannot replace that. The business ஆரம்பிக்கிறதா இருக்கட்டும், இல்லை even for சமைக்கிறது, I go back to சமைக்கிறதா இருக்கட்டும், you take your time and actually slowly cook it. You for example, வெங்காயம் இருக்குல்ல, வெங்காயம் வந்து you need to let it brown first before you actually do anything. Joke பண்ணாத I'm serious. சரி வெங்காயம் சொல்லு. அந்த வெங்காயத்தை வந்து you must caramelize the onion before doing anything in that sense, right? You don't immediately just jump in all the, it doesn't make sense, right? அதுதான், that's life in that sense, in my opinion. True.
No, even right, ஒரு habit வந்து நம்ம பழகுறதுக்கு, I've read this in books, Robin Sharma. Actually, it takes 66 days to form a habit. Amma. So Robin Sharma books, in one of his earlier books, I think he mentioned, I don't know, I don't think it's him. I think, normally சொல்லுவாங்க actually 21 days. இது நானே ட்ரை பண்ணியிருக்கேன். 21 days பண்ணா, but I felt like it didn't really stick with me that much. But based on research, actually now they've said that it takes 66 days ஒரு habit form பண்றதுக்கு, and it's very reasonable. I mean, right, because நம்ம brain குள்ள அந்த நியூரான்ஸ் வந்து கனெக்ட் ஆகணும், அப்பனா தான் அது ஈஸியா ஆகும், like there is a science behind that. So like you guys said, like that whole ஃபாஸ்டா போணும். But I feel like faster, இது நானே பண்ணியிருக்கேன், but faster போகும்பொழுது like that learning process gets affected. Not just that, அது ரொம்ப நாளைக்கு தங்காது அந்த ஒரு right, that art form that you've learned. Correct. It's just maybe அந்த moment okay, wherever you are, then it's okay, but in the long term, if it has to stick with you now, you have to really take your time, do it slowly.
பிகாஸ் நிறைய பேர் வந்து லைக் ஒரு புது ஹேபிட் எடுக்கணும்னா, லைக் இன் மை சர்க்கிளில் வந்து லைக் when I do like train people, அவங்களுக்கு வந்து இட்ஸ் லைக் if I say they want to take on a diet or something, right? And the day one, starting on Monday, I want to cut down my food, I want to start exercising this many times a week. So many changes they take at one go. So the common thing I tell them is one thing at a time. If you're going to focus on your workout, forget that one workout done. அதை கொஞ்சம் பழக்கமாயிட்டு, then let your body adapt, then get used to working out twice a week. After you used to that, சாப்பாடை கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணுங்க. நிறைய பேர் they take ஒரு வாரத்தில் they want to do 10-20 changes, அப்புறம் ஒரு 2-3 நாளுக்கு நல்லா போய்கிட்டு இருக்கோம். Then after that, அப்புறம் 4th day you fall off, and then if you demoralize, என்னால் இதை பண்ண முடியல, it's not for me, then you completely stop. So people, that's why people like the gratification can like. So it's like the instant results, it's not like people are not being, basically என்ன பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் people are not being kind to themselves.
Right, you are very right.
Because அந்த மாற்றங்களை செய்யும் போது you need to, நீங்கள் சொன்னீங்க அந்த neurons connecting, and part of it I actually start நிறைய பேர் when you want to do, right, you need to unlearn certain habits. So for example, if let's say ஒரு புது பழக்கத்தை செய்யணும்னா people need to unlearn the resistance that they have. Like எழுந்திருச்சு let's say you're going for a walk. எழுந்திருச்சு நடக்கிறது I'm lazy, I just rather just watch Netflix, I rather just use my phone. You need to unlearn those things. ஏன்னா அந்த temptation வரும். Like எழுந்திருக்கும் போது எல்லாம் அடிக்கும் போது some people have the practice of pressing snooze.
Yeah.
You need to unlearn that. அது வந்து and you need to be patient with yourself to do it. Like first 2 days செய்யலாம் because it's a new thing you're doing, you're motivated. On the third day you're tempted to go back into your rhythm.
100%.
So people need to be patient with themselves. You're human. As someone, the older you get, the more சில habits வந்து ஆள் மனசுல பதிஞ்சிருக்கும். It's just second nature to reach out and press this button. சில பேருக்கு second nature 10 o'clock means you go eat a bag of chips. நான் அந்த மாதிரி டைப் தான். So அந்த second nature.
No, I am also. I have the 2 a.m. cravings, which is so bad because like I mean it makes me put on unnecessary weight lah, which I cannot because I mean now right that I've gotten into acting, I want to talk about this. On the acting la na enna notice panna, see I've been 8 months into acting. Okay. So சில சமயம் ரொம்ப early call timesலாம் இருக்கும். It really like it does take a toll on your body, right? Because and I'm a very new actor. Acting background எதுவுமே இல்ல. And I realized that to get into a character and to come back, even அது ஒரு 1-2 scenes இருந்தாலும் I feel as drained as I've done ஒரு 1 hour of Bharatanatyam class.
Right.
You know? So acting kulla, right. So I realized that first 6 months was very challenging. And I was like, is this because I'm not meant to be here? Like I'm not meant to be doing acting. But then I realized even my 8th month in, right, it is equally challenging. Right. But no, not equally challenging. It is challenging, but not as challenging as before. So it is getting easier to a certain extent. But it took me 8 months to get to this place, you know, to be more comfortable with acting. So honestly, like, it takes time.
We've spoken about like in the instant gratification, on the social media world, everything is like you want your results quickly. And like, you challenges you face and change is a process. Like, how important is it to you to be patient with yourself and give yourself time? ஒரு மாற்றத்தை உருவாக்கணும்னா ஒரு நிதானம் தேவை. You need to do a lot of self-talk. அது எவ்வளவு முக்கியம்?
Oh, it's very important because எனக்கே வந்து I used to be very into instant gratification once upon a time, but I realized that ஒரு long termல வந்து I used to feel really bad about myself. That's what I realized. Maybe அந்த momentல அது ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கும், but really as time builds, right, I felt so bad. Like my life was really going down, you know. That's when because என்னை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் I've always hated doing things that I'm too uncomfortable with, you know. But I realized that it is important to do things that you're uncomfortable, which is why now I understand why they say get comfortable getting uncomfortable. Because that's the only way I feel you're going to gain more self-confidence of yourself and really believe that trust that you have with yourself. Right. And of course when you go through these uncomfortable moments, and of course அது முதல்ல பண்ணும்போது ரொம்ப சின்னதா தான் பண்ணது. I truly believe you have to just ease into it, you know. And it's really about progress, not perfection. நான் இந்த ஒரு mistake பண்ணுவேன், like you know, I'll think about like things being perfect, but I don't think about the progress. Maybe that's how our mind naturally functions, you know. So I truly believe, because now Atomic Habits na padichirukken, I think it's a great book if you want to you know, develop better habits. It's about 1% improvement every day. சின்னதாக ஏதாவது பண்ணுங்க, டெய்லி பண்ணுங்க, கன்சிஸ்டண்ட்டாக பண்ணுங்க. அண்ட் அட் ஒரு ஹேபிட், ஒரு குட் ஹேபிட் ஃபார்ம் பண்ணும்பொழுது you should only focus on that one habit lah. Shouldn't be doing, you know, like we talked about before, 20 things at the same time. Not possible. And I think the mind science is so important. You have to always educate yourself on like how the mind works, so that it just makes your life easier, you know. So okay, ஒரு one habit நீங்க ஃபார்ம் பண்றீங்கன்னா ஒரு 66 days கண்டினியூஸாக பண்ணுங்க. அது 100% வந்து அது அப்புறம் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு நேச்சுரல் ஹேபிட் ஆகிடும். அதுவும் இல்லாமல் இன்னொன்று வந்து நீங்கள் ஒரு குட் ஹேபிட் நீங்கள் பண்ணுறீங்கன்னா, yes, it's going to be very difficult, but after that you reward yourself.
Right, yeah.
So அப்பயே ஒரு டோபமின் ஹிட் உங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கிதுல்ல, லைக் ஓ நான் இது பண்ணிட்டேன், ஸோ நவ் ஐ டிசர்வ் ரிவார்ட். யூனோ, இப்போ இதில் என்ன ஒரு ரொம்ப கஷ்டமான ஒரு விஷயம் ஐ ரியலைஸ் இஸ், இந்த இன்ஸ்டன்ட் ஒரு அன்அவேர்னஸ்னால நிறையா பேர், நானே ஐவ் கான் த்ரூ திஸ், நிறையா இன்ஸ்டன்ட் கிராட்டிஃபிகேஷனுக்குள்ளே போய், பிகாஸ் இட்ஸ் ஸோ ஈஸி டு பி இன்ஸ்டன்ட்லி கிராட்டிஃபைட் டுடே. அதுக்குள்ள ரொம்ப போய் some people feel, thankfully I have control of it lah, because I do meditation. I'm very thankful that I was introduced to meditation at a very young age actually. But நிறைய பேர் வந்து they get into that spiral of instant gratifications. So அதுல இருந்து அவங்களுக்கு எப்படி வெளியில வருது அப்படின்னு வந்து அவங்களுக்கு தெரியல, right? They really get stuck. So when you're in those moments of time, in that darkness, right? I do believe, of course, ஒரு நல்ல direction பத்தி யோசிக்கிறது is a very difficult thing. But just try something very small that feels easy, but you know is something that's good for you. And then you start from there. And I realized that இது வந்து நம்ம continue பண்ணிட்டே போனா for months, you know, you're going to become better at it. Your life is going to get so much better. Serious discipline வந்து லைஃப்ல இல்லைன்னா your life is really not going to நம்மளால ஒரு விஷயத்தை அச்சீவ் பண்ணவே முடியாது டிசிப்ளின் இல்லாம, right? There's a reason why things are hard la. You have to go through those tough times. அப்பதான் வந்து you grow as a person. Comfort zone ரொம்ப நாள் இருந்தோன்னா it's going to destroy you. I have seen it for myself, you know. So you have to get through that challenges. Then அதுக்கப்புறமா I feel for me I become more happier, more peaceful, you know. I enjoy my life. And the success you want to தக்க வச்சுக்கணும்னா you also have to, you know, continuously come out of your comfort zone. Yeah.
ஆமில நிறைய வாட்டி சொல்லுவாங்க என்கிட்ட when we went BMT, because like BMT was like the hardest, right? Tough times don't last, tough people do. That's the only thing, that's like a mantra mari.
Correct. Especially in the working world la, like you really have to be toughened up, you know. Discipline illana romba kashtam to earn money, especially to be financially, you know, stable, get all your finances correct. I mean, of course, you know, all of us want to live comfortable lives, right? No one wishes to be poor or you know, not be financially stable, because money is important. You know, and I've also read in Robin Sharma's book whereby he talks about sometimes we think that அவங்க ரிச்சா இருக்க they ஆசைப்படுறாங்க அப்பனா மணி மேல ரொம்ப greedy-ஆ இருப்பாங்க. No, actually money is important. And honestly, when you have the opportunities, especially in a place like Singapore, and you're a Singaporean, you came through the education system, now we have a lot of opportunities in this country. I feel like the only right thing is to make yourself financially stable so that you can also help others out there with your money. You know, it's not just about you la when you get the money. I truly believe so they can help more people also with your money. So really இப்ப எனக்கு புரியுது discipline ஓட importance, you know, especially finances wise. Like if you're not disciplined enough, money வந்து அப்படியே will just go away
Flow
from
like
you.
water. Especially in a place like Singapore.
Yeah, in a place like Singapore, right?
அங்க போய் ஒரு பிரியாணி தொட்டாக்கா 14 வெள்ளி.
Exactly. So like காசு அப்படியே வந்து காணு. So yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you have to get, at one point of your life, right, you have to get comfortable getting uncomfortable if you want to live a good life. I believe.
இப்போ நீங்கள் வந்து நிறைய சீரியஸ்லாம் நடிச்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்கீங்க. I remember வசந்தம் சீரீஸில்
வசந்தம், ஐயோ, I've done a lot of Calify for வசந்தம். நாம்ல பண்ணேன், நாம்ல ஒரு intense role பண்ணேன். Oh my goodness, yeah.
I remember that. And then இப்போ நீங்கள் Channel 5 பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருக்கீங்க. நீங்கள் சேலஞ்சஸ்னு சொன்னீங்க. And given that I was just a very small actor in that sense. Just a very small. I know there were some things that you can't do, and it was challenging. What were the challenges you faced as someone with no?
Oh my God!
What were no background in acting? You know, nothing. What were those? And
நிறைய challenges. First இது வந்து முதல் விஷயம் வந்து வீட்டில் வந்து they are not very comfortable with the whole media thing.
Okay.
Yeah. To them it's still like, why are you pursuing media? அதுவும் எங்க வீட்லனா the acting is not allowed at all. 100%. At least ஒரு female-க்கு 100% not allowed.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. You know, to them அவங்க வந்து அந்த மீடியா வந்து ரொம்ப, I guess it's they're brought up la. So they'll really look down on media. என்ன மீடியாவா, என்ன ஆக்ட்ரஸ், அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு இது. Actually அது பிரேக் பண்றதுக்காக தான் I even got into acting. அதே நீங்க இப்பதான் நோன் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கீங்க, நான் போய் ட்ரை பண்ண போறேன். I really want to know what happens there அப்படின்னு. But a lot of challenges, because for me I'm learning on the job. You know, and yeah, like some days, like yesterday I was so uncomfortable. I was like, என்னது 4:45 AM எந்திரிச்சு இதுல வேற நான் தூங்குறதோ சில சமயம் லேட்டா தூங்குவேன். You know, I'm still getting into my sleep routine. I think it takes time la. I mean, when you start working, it's not the same as you studying, you know, it's different, right? நேத்து I was so uncomfortable. I was like போலாமா வேண்டாமா அப்படி மைண்ட்ல தோணும். அதுக்கு இருக்க முடியாது. I mean I was starting actor. I'm not like a very professional actor, you know, to tell people what to do. Obviously I can't do that. I treat this as a golden opportunity, right, for me. என்னைய நம்பி கொடுத்திருக்காங்க, so அதுக்கு justice பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு I'm very big on that. So yeah, it's been very, very challenging, honestly speaking. There's been days where I really like mentally I broke down. I was like, dude, what? Like acting like ivlo irka, you know? Because idla enna vandu ipa TV series nalla it's very fast paced.
Yes.
They have to produce so many episodes, you know. I mean, Monday to Thursday it has to air at 8:30 p.m. So adukku ஏத்த மாதிரி வந்து நிறைய scenes இருக்கும் பண்றதுக்கு. So directors I mean, you know, you're talking about like 7 directors for this. And it's very big as a set, you know. So when I first entered, the first 6 months, the main challenge was getting used to the people and the way the work is. Right, so I feel like acting ipada I'm focusing more, I'm able to focus more on it, you know. The first 6 months I came in, every time when I called in, I'll have to work with a different director. I'll have to introduce myself to them. Apro a different team, different director na different team. So you're working with a different camera person, a different lighting person, different sound person. Ellame so or 10 people வந்து different-ஆ இருப்பாங்க ஒவ்வொரு தடவையும் போகும்போது ஒரு 6 months. ஸோ அதை முதல்ல ஐ ஹேட் டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். அப்புறம் மேக்கப் ரூமில் ஒரு 3 பேர் இருப்பாங்க, வார்ட்ரோப்பில் ஒரு 2 பேர் இருப்பாங்க. ஸோ காஸ்டே 30 பேர். யூ கான்ஸ்டன்ட்லி மீட்டிங் சம் ஒன் டிஃப்ரெண்ட். ஸோ எல்லார்கிட்டையும் எப்படி இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணி பேசி யூனோ அதுக்கப்புறம் ஷூட்டிங் அப்போ வந்து அதுவும் என்ன என்னோட பிக்கஸ்ட் சேலஞ்சுன்னா 10 பேருக்கு முன்னாடி ஐ ஹேட் டு பெர்ஃபார்ம் மை லைன்ஸ், ரைட்? அதுவும் அந்த ஒரு emotions-ஓட I had to. And the thing about English acting is it's a little bit more subtle than our Indian acting.
Not emotional. It's not. You don't throw your emotions out there.
It's more like casual. So till today, that's why they tell me more casual. Don't emphasize your words. More like mellow. Yeah. So 10 பேருக்கு முன்னாடி ஆக்ட் பண்றது, இதுல வந்து டைரக்டர் வந்து எங்கேயாவது உட்கார்ந்துருப்பாங்க. ஸோ அட் அ டைம் ஒரு 5 பேர் பேசுறத வந்து ஐ ஹேட் டு லிசன். I had to be very good at listening, you know. And they're, I mean, very disciplined also, of course, right? So உடனே சொன்னோனே புடிச்சுக்கணும். I mean, because we're not kids, right? Yeah. So என்னன்னா நான் ஒரு கட்டுக்கு அப்புறம் என்ன நடக்கும்னா அசிஸ்டன்ட் ப்ரொடியூசர் வருவாங்க. And then she will tell us lines இப்படிலாம் சொல்லிருங்க. At the same time மேக்கப் நடந்துட்டு இருக்கும். அப்புறம் at the same time மைக் இங்க அட்ஜஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. அப்புறம் அடுத்து வந்து இன்னொரு இது என்னன்னா வந்து கேமரா முன்னாடி நடிக்கும் பொழுது கேமரா உள்ளக்க பார்க்க கூடாது. As a dancer I look into the camera, you know, right? But with TV I can't. So கேமராக்குன்னு ஆங்கிள்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஸோ I cannot என்ன சொல்றது, கேமரா பாக்குற மாதிரி கேமராக்குள்ள பார்க்க கூடாது. Right? So அதெல்லாம்
அது கேரக்டரை பார்த்து நடிக்கணும். Like you got to look at your, it's either looking at your co-star or something like that.
The eye line. Yeah, you have to look into your co-star's eyes. அப்புறம் இன்னொரு ரொம்ப முக்கியமான விஷயம் I learned is lightingக்கெல்லாம் வந்து இது இருக்கு, like where to stand. Then they were like, can you please take note of this and everything.
X marks the spot and all that stuff.
So it's like ஒரு 5 to 10 people பேசுறது I had to take it in. Wow, first 6 months I really was like
a lot info,
overwhelming,
very overwhelmed. And also another thing is there's no one to like or anga or teacher illa,
right?
Because you're learning on the job, right? So it's really about whether you can pick it up or not. But the first 6 months I just told myself, just push through, it's okay, pathikalam, you know. But I still really enjoy what I do, so that's what really pushed me, you know. So now properly 8th month in, நிறைய மிஸ்டேக்ஸ் பண்ணிருக்கேன், நிறைய ஃபெயிலியர்ஸ் பண்ணிருக்கேன். This is the most important thing I will say. Mistakes, failures, very normal. I've had days where ஒரு தடவை என்னால் அந்த சீன்ல உள்ள லைன்ஸ் என்னால் சொல்ல முடியல. And dude, I'm acting with 2 very like professional actors in the industry. You know, Sivakumar sir, him and Premnu சொல்லிட்டு இன்னொரு actor. Okay, they've been in the industry for like very long. So அவங்க பக்கத்துல உட்கார்ந்துட்டு I had to have a conversation with them. And அங்க என்னன்னா வந்து 1-2 shotsலயே எல்லாமே ஃபைனல் ஆயிடும் அங்க. You know, they don't do that many retakes just because the actors are very professional. So அன்னைக்கு ஒரு நாளா I couldn't get my lines at all. And it was the most embarrassing day of my life. After that, I was like, wow, I made திருப்பி செட்டுக்குள்ள நான் போவே மாட்டேன் அப்படி ஒரு மைண்ட் செட் after that day. So embarrassed, you know. And then it took me another 30 minutes to get my lines right and to say it. And அதுலயும் they had to cut and cut lah. So அவங்களுக்கு like இன்னும் like வேலை தந்த. So that's a very important thing, you know, when you do any work, as time progresses, அவங்க என்ன பாப்பாங்கன்னா you should be very easy to work with, you know. So cut பண்ணி எடுத்ததுல it took me another half an hour. And that day that was like the rock bottom of my acting, you know. Okay lah, but adukaprom I realized that when you face such failures, right, it's okay, the only right thing is to come back and just do better. It's only normal because ஒரு புது விஷயம் போய் ட்ரை பண்ணும்போது you're not going to know everything. Correct, you know, you just learn. So mistakes are a very good thing. You just learn from the mistakes. And then adukaprom now my performance is much better. You know? Yeah.
Do you think that day was necessary?
100%. Oh my God. It's like it brought me to my place. கொஞ்சம் சில சமயம் நம்மளும் வந்து sometimes what happens to me is ஒரு விஷயத்த ரொம்ப நல்லா பண்ணா கொஞ்சம் கம்ப்ளேசன் ஆயிடுவேன். அதை பார்த்துக்கலாம் இதுல என்ன. ஸோ அன்னைக்கு என்னன்னா ஒரு 2-3 days முன்னாடி நான் சீன்ஸை வந்து படிக்கல. what I was doing for a few months in is ஒரு 1 day முன்னாடி படிக்கிறது, இல்லைனா அதுக்கு முன்னாடி அன்னைக்கே வந்து படிக்கிறது. Just ஒரு few hours before I go into the scene அன்னைக்கே வந்து படிக்கிறது. சில சமயம் it sticks to me. I have அந்த visual memory to a certain extent lah, because சின்ன பிள்ளைல I was a தமிழ் பேச்சாளர், right? So நிறைய டிபேட்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன், நிறைய பேச்சு போட்டி பண்ணியிருக்கேன், right? So ஒரு 3 minute ஸ்பீச்சை வந்து நான் மெமரைஸ் வந்து நான் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். I used to do it from primary till secondary school. I was a very heavy like தமிழ் competition competitor. என்ன கொடுத்தாலும் ஒரு தமிழ் essay writing, தமிழ் பேச்சு என்ன இருந்தாலும் so அந்த ஒரு ப்ராக்டிஸ் இருந்தனால I used to think okay ஒவ்வொரு தடவை நல்லா வந்துடும், you know, like I've had that practice, so பண்ணிடலாம். But that day was so important because it taught me a lot of things. You know, I felt like, oh my God, Aniki, what if they kick me out from this? I was so worried. It taught me my lesson, and then from then on I start to become more disciplined with the way I prepare lah.
Script reading and all.
Humbled me. You need those experiences. Really humbles you, and being that humble is very important. I mean, you know, na professional actors anga na paakra avanga evlo varsham nadichalo they are still very humble
to the ground.
And this is very good for the new actors when they come in because even the role models, you know, we are the next generation of actors. Ipo ulla and the professional actors, if they have a good conduct, I feel if they have a good conduct only nanga vara actors on inspired avom. So we'll be able to, you know, have that much of professionalism also because you always need mentors, you need because I mean I truly believe that your environment makes you, you know. Correct. So it's very important to have those kind of positive influences around you for you to become much better in the future. Correct. And நீங்க அப்புறம் அடுத்த generation of அடுத்த இது you'll be able to come up with a really good set of, you know, talents also lah.
So challenges பத்தி பேசுனீங்க, and I would say the downside of acting னு சொல்லலாம். What are some of the positive things that has come out of acting for you? Like some positive experiences?
Oh my God, a lot. It's really groomed me so much. I think the first thing is to believe in myself more. Some days I'll really think, how will I step into that? That whole thing of like stepping into a certain character, it kind of made me uncomfortable. திடீர்னு கத்தணும், திடீர்னு boisterous-ஆ சிரிக்கணும்.
எது தெரியுமா கஷ்டம்? திடீர்னு அழுவணும்.
Thank God அழுவுற சீன் இல்ல. That's what I'm so grateful. I think that's going to be the most challenging. And the Naam Tula, I did that very intense scene, right? But I felt like it just happened. எனக்கு வந்து அன்னைக்கு செட்டுக்கு போய் தான் வந்து, so I'll just share a bit of that experience also lah. That's been the most you know, the darkest scene I think I have done, but it was such a timing because that's when I left my previous company. I was so angry. I was like, inside I was fuming, like, how dare they, you know. So, அடுத்த நாள் thankfully I got a call. Actually நான் உள்ள கேலிஃபேரா தான் நான் போயிருந்தேன், யாருக்குமே தெரியாது நான் சோஷியல் மீடியாலாம் பண்ணுறேன் அப்படின்னு, right? So I went in, நாங்கள் 4 girls உள்ளக்க போனோம். Somehow they gave me that role, you know, நீங்க பண்ணுங்க அது. அதுவும் எனக்கு செட்டுக்கு போய் தான் எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சிச்சு இந்த மாதிரி நான் ஒரு giving birth பயங்கரமா கத்தி giving birth வந்து நான் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு. But it was perfect timing because it was very therapeutic for me when I screamed. அந்த ஒரு டேக் வந்து ஒரு 20க்கு மேல போயிருக்கும். I said எத்தனை நாள் எடுத்துக்காங்க எவ்வளோ நாள் கத்துறேன், you know. No, but the team was very nice lah. They were so எல்லாமே layman termsல சொன்னாங்க. So it's very easy to after that I think some of them did ask me like, are you okay?
No, that's a sign of a good actor. That's a sign of a good actor.
Good, maybe they took it very seriously lah.
Yeah,
that's a sign of a good actor.
Oh my god, I hope so. Are you okay? இதுக்கு அப்புறம் வந்து ஐஸ் தண்ணிலாம் குடிச்சிடாதீங்க, ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ரெயின் பண்ணாதீங்க. At first right அவங்க என்ன சொன்னாங்கன்னா நீங்க பயங்கரமா because give birth பண்ணிட்டு எனக்கு உயிர் போயிடும் ரைட், அந்த மாதிரி நடிங்க அப்படின்னு. ஸோ அவங்க வந்து முதல்ல என்கிட்ட சொல்றாங்க எனக்கு பயங்கரமா கத்தணும் சும்மாலாம் இல்லை, யூ ஹேவ் டு ரியலி ஸ்க்ரீமா. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் பண்ணேன், they were happy. They say, yeah, okay, that's good. Like, yeah, then after that they were like, you sure you're okay? Yeah, I mean, so that was the most like intense ever. Thankfully in the acting la எனக்கு இன்னும் அந்த மாதிரி அழுகிற சீன் இல்லை. பட் ஒவ்வொரு தடவை வந்து இந்த மாதிரி சத்தமா சிரிக்கிறது பிகாஸ் டேக்குள்ள போனோடனே நீங்கள் செட்குள்ள போனோடனே டேக்குள்ள போனோடனே திடீர்னு boisterousா laugh பண்ணிட்டு then you must go into the scene, right? Yeah. The yesterday scene was I had to outdoor shooting ஒரு HDB estateல first scene உள்ளக்க போறோம். Me and my other co-actor we had to scream.
Right.
We had to scream. And I was at first a little bit idula like ஐயோ என்ன சுத்தி ஃபுல்லா ஃபிளாட் லைக் எல்லாம் போறாங்க in public. But அதுவும் வந்து செட்ல வந்து 10 பேர் இருக்காங்க, எல்லாரும் பார்ப்பாங்க, everyone's counting on you, you know. No one wants like a third or a fourth take. Everyone wants to do it in one or two idula two, what do you call that, 2 shots la. Yeah. So then at first we were practicing la, like screaming, எனக்கு முதல்ல வரல, you know. Then the director told me, get out of your comfort zone, just scream, you know. So adan I realized panna acting now you really must get into the character. It's not like a joke, you know. Yeah. Acting, yeah, ரொம்ப நாளா I used to think acting then because I grew up with a mindset that acting வந்து number one it's a bad thing, ரெண்டாவது வந்து actors வந்து they're not respectable people அப்படின்னு ஒரு mindsetல I grew up. Like I don't want to have that mindset, but when you grow up with people constantly saying that, there will be a part of you which does kind of think a little bit like that. So உண்மையிலே முதல்ல வரும்பொழுது maybe I was not very respectful of the art. போக நான் தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டேன். That's the thing. Because பண்ணி தான் ஒரு விஷயம் தெரியும். So the first positive thing is definitely out of my comfort zone. Like which is what I love about acting, because you're exploring sides of you that you've never known before, right? Yeah. So yeah, I think coming out of my comfort zone, rendavathu vishayam very important is the discipline la. It does take a lot to be an actor. Now I understand, because like, you know, I realize why an actor needs to keep their body fit is really because you could be shooting for the whole day. Physically also is very demanding because ninga ange nikringa the full time. So I feel like you have to do a lot of like back work for it, like preparing for it, which is really like, you know, you have to do the workouts. Body adha romba fit ah vachikano. You have to eat well, you know, just eat right. So it's motivating me right now. Because I like the art of acting and how much it's pushing me. என்ன பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் ஒரு விஷயம் கஷ்டமா இருந்தாதான் I want to pursue it more, because I want to overcome those difficulties, you know. Right. So and the acting புடிச்சனால தான் my other parts of my life is getting better, like working out, or I found a reason why, eating right, you know, all that, a lot of positive influence. அப்புறம் மூணாவது விஷயம், the people that you meet there. I also realized one thing about acting is that நம்ம ஆக்டிங் பண்ணும்பொழுது, right, you possibly can't have a certain you have to be yourself la, right, because you're exploring different emotions. How are you going to maintain a certain, நம்மளே அங்க ஒரு கேரக்டருக்குள்ள போனோம். இதுல if you're going to hide who you are as a person, right, and you're going to turn up as someone else, it's going to be very difficult, I feel. So நான் நினைக்கிறேன் with the kind of people that you meet there, especially with like the series that I'm doing, the actors have been honestly amazing, just themselves, you know. Yeah, so I feel like with acting most probably you're going to be meeting very genuine people because you can't hide who you are as time progresses. So those are really the positives of acting. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I think நிறைய பேருக்கு like புரியாது. It's like ஒரு இன்டென்ஸான சீன் செய்யணும்னா you need to do a lot of, you need to answer like எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச எக்ஸ்போஜர்ல like within my limited context, like you need to answer a lot of questions in the character. யாரு அவங்க ஏன் இந்த மாதிரி facials கொடுப்பாங்க, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு tone of voice, and you need to draw on your own experiences to channel அந்த ஒரு anger, ஒரு energy into that character's mannerisms, and you need to do that when the director says action. And when cut, you need to draw back, and it's still a lot of energy that நீங்க வந்து யூஸ் பண்ணுறது to channel and recall the memories. So you can get taxing because let's say you're doing an angry scene, you need to think about things that you actually don't like to think about, right? For example, அதை வந்து யோசிச்சுட்டு சீனை பண்ணிட்டு you need to withdraw and put this back in the place where there was before and then function as normal. So அதை வந்து செய்யறதுக்கு like ஒரு நீங்க சொன்னீங்க நாள் முழுக்க நின்னுகிட்டு இருக்கணும், நாள் முழுக்க செய்யறது take after take will get very mentally, emotionally tiring, right?
It is actually. I've thought about, I think this is a very good point actually. I've thought about how when the character kulla poitu you have to come back to yourself, right?
That's the one.
Thankfully right now I'm still in a rather comfortable position because the character is still very much like me la. Priya Nayar nu solte very much like me, teasing my father, joking around a lot, very bubbly, high energy. So na evlo venal na kattalanga, and the mari very related to my character. So I haven't had that அந்த ஒரு எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் எனக்கு இன்னும் வரல, லைக் ஒரு கேரக்டருக்குள்ள இருந்து வெளில வருது to become myself la. So maybe in the future, I'll probably get more
I did a couple of stage acting, right? And that was my biggest challenge.
Right.
Coming out of
my God.
When I was acting, I was very passionate about it. Like, I was really passionate. And when I got into a character, I was that person. Peya irukattum illa whatever.
Wow.
Vikramadithan. Vedalam. I was Vedalam. Right?
Oh my God. Avant Theatre.
Illa. This was very long. This is like school. What is that? My school time.
Okay.
So, to play that role and all that, you need to actually understand what is Vedalam's the techiness, how he actually bounced off with Vikramadithan and all that. So I choose to think I was that. So for me, the hardest part was getting out of that character. That has always been a challenge. Actually.
And the thing that is like related also, like நிறைய நடிகர்கள் வந்து like பேசும்போது like interview பேட்டி கொடுக்கும்போது ஒரு படம் ரிலீஸ் பண்ணுறதுக்கு முன்னாடி they will always refer to that character by the character's name. They won't say I was acting like this. They will say no. If like say like say I was acting as someone named like Kumar or something. Kumar is this type of person, that type of person. So it's like a completely different avatar, different persona.
Correct. அதான் நான் கற்றுக்கிட்டேன் actually. I also used to wonder, அவங்க தானே நடிச்சிருக்காங்க, ஏன் நான் அப்படி சொல்ல. But then I realized that okay, as an actor, right, it can't be you in there because Sakthi is different. Correct. Priya Nayar is different. So Priya Nayar ki the characteristics, which is another thing that I really love about acting. You can just imagine a world for yourself. I think that's amazing, because I love to, like movies, I love fantasy. That's the thing. So நிறைய imagine பண்ணி Priya Nayarக்கு I had to build a story around her. What are her characteristics? What's her strengths? What's her weaknesses? What's her age range? How are her relationships like? So you are really embodying a different character person itself.
So we வந்து உங்களோட நடிப்பு எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பற்றி இப்போ பேசிட்டீங்க. ஆனால் are there any roles that you want to try in particular?
Oh yeah, 100%. I want to do a lot of எனக்கு comedy roles ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும், so like I think just me being funny in that sense, நிறைய charisma order basically, right? So I've always wanted to try. Do you guys watch Modern Family?
No.
Modern Family, Gloria, yeah, I've always wanted to try her character out. I was like,
the Spanish, the Spanish actress. Okay, I've seen
what's
TikTok.
her real name?
மறந்துட்டேன்.
Sofia Vergara.
Yes, Sofia Vergara.
Okay,
Oh
I've seen the TikTok.
I've always wanted to try Gloria's roll out. Ilana also Hailey's roll out. Yeah, because again, maybe it's because idla ulla oru few characteristics are related to me as a person. So maybe easier irukum to portray la.
So modern family வந்து தமிழ்ல வந்து பண்ணாக்கா that's the role.
Yeah, correct. That those are maybe the roles that I want to try. And of course, I think as time progresses, I definitely have to do challenging roles also. Just because I can learn more. So do I really want intense roles? I don't know, because I'm still worried about the part of like நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி அந்த ஒரு கேரக்டருக்குள்ள போயிட்டு கேரக்டர் வந்து வெளில வருது. Thankfully for Naam, seriously I don't know if Naamல பண்ண அந்த கேரக்டர் எனக்கு திருப்பி தந்தேன்னா I don't know if I can deliver that much again, because
the moment, it was a moment.
It was a moment, and it was just a few minutes தான். It wasn't like a 1 hour like என்ன நடந்துச்சு எப்படி நடந்துச்சு like maybe ஒரு water break ஆகி அப்புறம் அவங்க பெட்டுக்குள்ள போய் அந்த மாதிரிலாம் எதுவுமே இல்லை. ஒரு few minutes பண்ணிட்டு but as of now I can only think of like really those happy go lucky characters. அந்த மாதிரி I would love to do like what I can think of now.
So Sakthi, இவ்வளவு நேரம் நம்ம கூட பேசுனதுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி. There's a couple of takeaways I can key takeaways from this conversation is like discipline is very important for anything you do. அது வந்து பரதநாட்டியமா இருக்கட்டும் இல்ல நடிப்பா இருக்கட்டும் இல்ல நம்ம நடைமுறை வாழ்க்கையா இருக்கட்டும், discipline is very important. And of course like having a goal in mind, I think that's what we learn from you in that sense. And the goal illati, there's nothing there. Yeah.
Correct. I agree. But I would also like to add on that more than goals, right? The systems you develop, the person you become habits. Because of the goal, right, is the most important thing that happens. The systems you develop, Yeah.
So Sakthi, thank you once again for coming on our show. And நேயர்களே, hopefully you all enjoyed this episode.
And do you have any words to your followers? Before we end the episode, any message to your followers?
Oh my God, I just want to say thank you so much for believing in me and for giving me like a community. Because when I first started, நான் நினைச்சே பார்க்கல எனக்கு வந்து following இருக்கும். Now I have 56,000 followers. அந்த அளவுக்குலாம் வரும்னு I never thought. And like sometimes being recognized in public, like, you're the TikTok girl, right? I'm like, whoa, because I started very small. Right. Like ஒரு 0 views, 10 views. அப்பலாம் ஒரு 10 viewஸ்க்கே நான் ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியா இருப்பேன். Wow, 10 people are watching us, So I just want to say thank you so much for giving me this platform. இன்னொரு விஷயம், உங்களுக்கும் இந்த மாதிரி வந்து லைஃப்ல நீங்க என்ன பண்ண நினைச்சாலும் go ahead lah. And when you just keep doing it for like 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you look back, you would be in a very good place basically. Like unga dream basically unmayagum. And I think I am one of those examples lah.
Never stop chasing your dreams.
Yeah, never stop chasing your dreams. Exactly. Amma.
Sorry, இந்த எபிசோட் முடிக்கணும் நேயர்களே. See you all next week.
Bye.